So this is Baruch Fleischman, and we're here at the Tikkun Elevator Call, and we're getting another chance to look at the ideas, the thinking of a tremendous Kabbalist from a great background, Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran. Now, his family is well known in the French world. That's we call it the French Moroccan world, as great rabbis and Kabbalists. So it was a tremendous fortune for me to be able to be introduced to him and be able to learn with him. So this is the last share we gave. He said you have to work upon watching, because the watcher is your higher self. Watch the thought. He says watch your thinking pattern. Feel the emotion. Observe the reaction. Don't make a personal problem out of them. Really a lot to think about. Yesterday I really tried this a lot. I'm going to try it again. This is one of the main themes of Rabbi Mimran. It is that we have to be able to move to the higher self. Now let's come over here, and we have here his introduction to something which is called Prophecy and Joy. This is part 7. Prophecy and Joy. So he takes us, this is a book called Reishis Chochmah, Shar A'ava, Perek Aleph. So it says Reishis Chochmah, this means the beginning is Chochmah. Beginning is Chochmah. It comes from the gate of love in the first chapter. So it reads like this. This is a quote from this book. We have explained in this chapter the essence of the concept of love. Its essence is the tying together and oneness of the creations with each other through its inner soul. Now, go over the ideas one time. It is the binding together, because the title of this book is The Ultimate Connection with God. So that is the tying together and making two separate things into oneness. That is all of the different creations of the world, tying them together. How do you tie them together? You tie them together through its inner soul. Similarly, a man cannot truly love Hashem except through his soul. So what Rabbi Mimran is trying to show us is how to find that inner soul. The Torah specifically promises that all the blessings will be fulfilled through a service accompanied by joy. Now, what do you mean by service? Usually it's avoda in Hebrew. So it would mean prayer, doing a deed which is prescribed in the Torah. In other words, a commandment. Why is that? Now, his point is that it's the word joy. Why is that? He says, why is joy so important? That as you're doing something good, that you feel the joy in it, that you're really into it. Chazal also tell us that Ruach HaKodesh. What is Ruach HaKodesh? This is a higher level of awareness that is not bound to pure physicality. It's the power of prophecy, which would only reside on a prophet who was in a state of utter joy and happiness. We find the opposite with Yaakov Avinu, that his Ruach HaKodesh was taken away due to the extensive mourning for his son Yosef. Why should joy be so intrinsic to connecting to Hashem through prophetic powers? So he says two things. One is that prophecy, or Ruach HaKodesh, which is today which we call Ruach HaKodesh, this only comes about in a complete state of joy. And we see by Yaakov Avinu, Jacob our father, and when he mourned for the loss of Yosef for so long, he lost his Ruach HaKodesh. He couldn't see what was really going on. He couldn't find Hashem. So he said, why should joy be so intrinsic to connecting to Hashem through prophetic powers? The answer is that the doorway to accessing prophecy is the same as that of the spiritual realm, which is the same as accessing the powers of your own soul. So he's saying here that within us is something tremendously powerful. The problem is that it's not physical. So living in a physical world, we tend to think that all the power in the world exists in the atom bomb or some the weather. Who knows what? The President of the United States, Putin, etc. All of these things. We think this is where the power of the world is, but actually it's just outside stuff. And the next generation, there'll be another Putin and another Biden and another, wherever you're listening to this, it'll constantly be changing. That's just the way it is. But the basic nature of it, that power that they are looking for, is not this power. This power is not physical. So he says the doorway is only visible when in a state of total stillness of mind. No thoughts, no plans, no reactions, no feelings. Thereby allowing you to transcend the material to join the spiritual. Now, I once commented, I just thought this idea, he says that on Shabbat, those of us who keep Shabbat, and we don't work that day, but we also, it's really specific that there are 39 different kinds of acts of creation that we don't get ourselves involved in. We just stay away from it, and we have instead a series of prayers and parties. It's really a wonderful time. But the main thing that marks it is there's less of everything. Maybe more food, but less of maybe more drink, but maybe less in interaction with the physical world. The less is the stillness of the mind, thereby allowing you to transcend the material to join the spiritual. The purity of focus comes when one is at peace with oneself. The state of joy is not only a way to access that stillness and peace of mind, but more importantly, it also intensifies it immensely, giving it power and energy. Now, let me say that, let me read through this again and see if I can find something practical for myself. It says the purity of focus, that is because of the ability to be able to remove the distractions and come to a place of quietness, allows focus to take place when one is at peace with oneself, but you have to be at that still place. The state of joy is not only a way to access that stillness. Now, this is what he says, and if you think, because I am a student of the Chassidus of Rabbi Nachman, that he talks about dancing, he talks about clapping the hands and singing and being involved in all of the things that really take you away from your mundane physical state, which is how I do this or what I'm going to do about that, and going back and forth. The state of joy is not only a way to access that stillness, so joy and peace of mind, but more importantly, it also intensifies it immensely. Joy has a tremendous power. So be happy. Find jokes. Say good things. Avoid saying bad things. Giving it power and energy. The doorway to accessing prophecy is only visible when in a state of total stillness and of mind, thereby allowing you to transcend the material to join the spiritual. You need to have total stillness of mind, and that's all that Rabbi Mimran is talking about. Can you do this every single second of the day? Well, some people can. But there are all kinds of things that come up from the right and from the left, from the up, down, and below us and behind us and in front of us, all kinds of different things. As we saw in the Torah from Reb Nelson of Breslov today, we're surrounded by darkness. So he's saying that joy is a tool, it's a key that can allow you to be able to unlock the door to light. This is Baruch Fleischman. We're listening to the Tikkun Elevator Kollel.